Welcome back to Exploring Strategies. Exploring Strategies is divided into 3 parts. So far we talked about strategic positioning of a company, followed by the strategic choices, and now we reach the third part, strategy and action. This chapter consists of 5 aspects: strategy development process, leadership and strategic change, the practice of strategy, and organizing and strategy. However, today we will focus on evaluating strategies, the first step of this process. The goal of evaluating strategies is to find the best strategic option for a company's problem. To do so, a company first has to assess their performance regarding their economic achievements, as well as organizational effectiveness. This assessment is done by comparing desired performance standards set by, for example, competitors with the company's actual achieved and projected performance. Thereby, a gap becomes visible, showing an operational performance issue of the company. This process is called gap analysis. To overcome this issue, several strategic options have to be evaluated. This is done by using a method called SAF-evaluation. SAF stands for suitability, acceptability, and feasibility. Suitability focuses on answering the question if a proposed strategic option addresses key opportunities and threats that the organization faces. There are several ways of doing so, such as ranking the strategic options, screening them through future scenarios, screening them for basis of competitive advantages, as well as using a decision tree or life cycle analysis. Moving on to acceptability, which focuses on answering the question if the strategic option meets the expectations of stakeholders. There are 3 R's a company has to pay attention to regarding those expectations. Firstly, is the level of risk acceptable by stakeholders? Secondly, is the likely return acceptable? And lastly, will the stakeholder reaction be positive? Moving on to the feasibility of a strategic option, which is concerned with the question whether a strategy can work in practice or not. To evaluate if a strategic option is feasible, it has to be analyzed if the company has enough financial resources to finance the investment. Moreover, it has to be evaluated if there are efficient people and skills available at the company to realize the strategic option, and if not, if they are easy to obtain. And lastly, the required resources have to be checked in terms of their easy attainment and integration as well. Once all strategic options have been evaluated using the SAF, the best strategic option to solve the company's problem will be distinguished.